Let's take you through some of the dailies now. Perhaps look at leadership. They're talking about the truce or reverse truce. And it says, Fubara bows, ready to make more concessions. I know several folks, and when you're bogged down with so many challenges in the country, you don't know where to vent or let your frustrations out. Whatever comes in, you just latch onto it and vent as much as possible. So now there are several perspectives on this one. So while you see that, it says, no price too much to pay for peace in Rivers. Just beside that, Clark declares peace pact one-sided. PDP insists Wike is still party member, not above sanctions. So will they sanction him or what? So if they were to rely on the statement by Clark saying peace pact one-sided, then he would then say, okay, no, I don't want this, I want this or that. But amidst all of those narratives out there that he didn't sign it, because look, when you hear things and run with it, you just really ask yourself, okay, what part of what you even heard is true and what part is not? Because you react based on what you know. So what part of what you know you think is valid? Because look, it's not just that clear-cut, but there are certain things that have played out that clearly people have seen and think, no, this is not right. So to that extent, yes, they can come to their own conclusions. But I'm sure you see it in several other dailies. But this is the lead story here. Equally interesting, I didn't order dress code for Niger workers. By God, that's the governor, because the word had been out there circulating too, that he has said from Monday to Thursday, don't wear this native attire to work. Look, make it English, civil servants. And now he says, he didn't do that. You have to read the story to get the context. So that's why it's like this anyway.
If it's a clarification.
Yes. I was about to do that, but I thought, no, let me let you go ahead and do that. Unfortunately, bandits abduct 2 policemen, 28 others in Taraba, Sokoto. Still a thing.
I mean, they're not even afraid of the police. They're abducting police. So if you were traveling and you say, oh, I have 2 policemen in my vehicle.
God help you.
This is not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I can't help myself. The bandits will adopt plus you and the police people you have.
Wow. Just wow.
It's not even funny, but I don't know. I can't help it this morning.
Sounds like a script in one of those movie scenes, right?
Yes, it is. It's not it will be a badly written script, but this is exactly how it's playing out here. Where our people of the underworld do not even have any regard for the uniform. Well, we do not know if they were abducted in uniform, because that would be another thing. If they were abducted in uniform, were they armed? It's possible that they were policemen off duty, and it was maybe much later that it came out that the people that they abducted in their custody were also police officers. So
just that
let's not jump to conclusions here.
Just that we didn't have much more time for the CDS yesterday. Look, you know how military officials will conduct if they see a civilian in camouflage. But you see terrorists clad in almost full fatigue, full gear, military gear.
But if you look, they're usually a bit different. You find
in some cases they're not. From some of the people we interviewed across, but they say, look, they were confused because they thought they were military.
Yeah, sometimes they steal, but if you look, actually, Chamberlain, you will see that they are not properly clad. And that's why it's very important that when people are on duty, they dress up properly. There's been that complaint that wear your proper shoes, don't wear slippers.
I'm not about to wait to look properly if the bandits coming, please.
So what if a legitimate policeman stops you? You zoom past.
I should wait. I'll be looking at bandits clad properly, whether they're wearing proper shoes.
Simply, let's not even go into that conversation. But and I think that there needs to be, it depends on where you are, though.
I hope that's not what they were doing when they abducted these 2 policemen.
I sincerely hope not, Joe. I sincerely hope not. Will that be all for leadership newspapers? Well, Vanguard also has the same story right there on the front page. No price too big for peace in Rivers. That's according to Fubara. PDP, Clark, Ijon Nation, Rivers elders reject Tinubu's peace accord. PDP says no remedy for 25 former Rivers lawmakers, urges them to prepare for fresh polls. Okay, Clark threatens legal action against Tinubu. We're yet to recognize G27 Rivers legislators. That's according to ASAF. I don't know.
Can the president be sued?
What is ASAF? I don't know what that is, but I mean, you're right. There's an acronym. Huh?
Can the president actually be sued?
I don't know. Immunity. So there's immunity, but I also think that the immunity might be on.
It's just anger, basically. And people are angry about some of these things. So
perhaps it's also possible that people are looking at whether any parts of the Constitution have been breached.
But it's good that people are reverting to the courts. Say, look, this is where I'm going to go to address it, to seek redress. Yeah. Fantastic.
It's a good place to go.
That's the way to go.
Well, says Fubara was ambushed in Aso Rock. Resolution dictatorial, one-sided, unacceptable. And you also see here, Nadeco urges Rivers people to reject resolution. So, meanwhile, the governor who is involved says no price too big for peace in Rivers.
People say no.
If he's willing to pay the price.
No, we don't agree.
Why are people crying louder than this?
You say no, it's one-sided. Chief Clark.
Page 5 is where you'll find it.
I think Chief Clark said it before the governor said it. Maybe we'll wait for more reactions.
We'll understand why when you read page 5 of the paper. You also see a number of other stories, right? Now, this has been going on for a while now, and said like some rumor from the north, and then it has trickled, it has entered Abuja fully. But Labour is responding to it. Naira scarcity, unacceptable. What is going on? I mean, we're complaining about inflation hitting the roof. Things are expensive. It's so difficult to buy. Then people now have to go through the additional burden of looking for cash to be able to purchase the items with no reason being given, apart from being told that, some people are hoarding. So if they're hoarding, we should be at the mercy of those hoarding the cash? Is that what should happen? It is mind-boggling, to be honest. Where do we even start from? Where do we even start? I don't know. Bukola and Ayo might be able to tell us what is happening in Lagos. But Labour is certainly making a statement about it this morning, saying Naira scarcity unacceptable. I am certainly on all fours with Labour around that. I wish there was a word stronger than unacceptable. It's abominable, as a matter of fact. I mean, how can we go through this, twice, 2 Christmases, looking for cash? It's totally unimaginable. You also have a number of other stories, but I'm going to leave you to look at it. Mr. and Mrs. is right there on the front page. Mr. is saying, I'm sorry, darling. My job entails moving around a lot. I'm a field worker. And Mrs. says, that is not even an excuse. Even field marshals spend quality time with their families. Families come together. Some people will not be around for Christmas. Don't worry, it'll get better.
I should do.
Let's leave it there for Vanguard newspaper.
Why does this sound like Malpa is throwing shades at someone this morning? Anyway, Bukola.
Malpa, please don't listen to Ayo. Mrs. has a very valid complaint this morning, and we hope Mr. listens both on paper and off paper. Well, let's take a look at Daily Independent this morning. And while Governor Fubara is saying no price is too high to pay for peace, it appears that the PDP disagrees, albeit vehemently. PDP rejects Tinubu, others' resolutions on Rivers crisis. That's what you have on the front page of Daily Independent. And there are about 3 riders here. Says defected lawmakers can only be readmitted through election. Insists INEC fixes date for fresh poll into 25 state constituencies. And Clark says resolution unacceptable, dictatorial, threatens lawsuit. So it appears there are so many others willing to fight the fight of Governor Fubara. How will this play out? And ultimately, what happens, in Rivers State, particularly the people who appear to be at the receiving end of this continuing fight between Godfather and Godson. Well, the coming days will be telling on how it plays out. There are a number of other stories on the front page of Daily Independent. We started off talking about security and the role of the local governments. We'll take a look at this one under the big story. Gunmen kidnap Taraba monarch son, pregnant daughter, others. 18 others. It's a page 7 read, and that came in yesterday, and it was quite unpalatable, difficult to take in, particularly because this threat of banditry, cross-border banditry, appears to be spreading, particularly from neighboring Cameroon. We read only weeks ago about that coming from Cross River as well, cross-border threats to communities in the south. So how aware are the police authorities, and what exactly are they doing about it? So since we're going to be talking about security later on the program today, it would just be timely to put those questions through. Let's go down to the bottom strip now to see this one. Extent of Naira devaluation to determine capital base of banks that's subscribed to the CBN. And it throws up a number of questions. Will it determine the nature of the merger? And what if banks, even when they merge, cannot meet up with this requirement? What's going to happen?
I guess we'll wait to see.
We'll wait to see.
Yeah.
Let's leave it there for Daily Independent.
Well, the Guardian newspaper this morning focuses squarely on local government administrations, and it's talking about how much has been spent. Despite 9.56 trillion naira allocation in 5 years, 774 local government areas still underdeveloped. And it has a chronicle of payments between 2019 and this year in the illustration on the front page. Now, there are 3 points being made there. State governments hijack functions of local councils. That's the first. Second one says stakeholders seek scrap of joint account and allocation committee. And there's a line in parentheses there, why opposition parties are non-existent at grassroots. The details of that you'll find on the inside pages. This is very, very concerning, extremely concerning indeed. And perhaps, is it a good time for us to be asking the former local government administrations and state governors over the past 5 years? That's the lead story of the Guardian newspaper, and of course the River story is also there. This is just one. Telcos may lose subscribers as NCC orders total ban of unlinked SIMs. You may want to check. If your SIM is not linked to your name, well, you may lose that line. But how soon? Details you'll find on page 15. That's the Guardian newspaper this morning.
Yeah, so Tribune also highlighting development in Rivers, saying no price too high to pay for peace. Fubara, Fallon and Clark say Abuja resolution unconstitutional. No way back for 25 defected lawmakers ascribed to PDP. And then give Tinubu real feedback from Nigerians, Fayemi tells Ganduje. So there you go. That's Nigerian Tribune here today.
Well, I'm looking at Observer for you this morning, and you see right there on the front page. Where is it now? I think it disappeared a moment. NAS wants it will bypass laggards to meet budget deadline. That's the lead story right there. Observer is what I'm looking at for you. You also see, they don't write this to that particular story, but it's within a context. Budget defense has been going on for a while now, and heads of ministries, departments, and agencies have been defending their budgets, but looks like not everybody is meeting the time that the National Assembly has set for them. So they're saying they will bypass laggards to meet budget deadline. They also have this: Obasaki approves free health insurance for Edo pensioners, Vigilante, others. Recommits to universal health care coverage. So that's right there. And they also have the story: Tinubu rejects, PDP rejects Tinubu's intervention in Rivers crisis. We'll leave it there for the Nigerian Observer.
Yeah, for the dailies as well this morning. And so we're back in just a moment. Don't go away.